There's a Christian term, unequally yoked, used specifically a lot for dating, relationships, or marriage, but I think it also pertains to friendships, and we really have to be careful of the people we allow into our lives, to speak into our lives, and we spend time with.
Very true. Friendships are one of those areas that it is so quick. You could be so quickly deceived into spending lots of time with somebody who maybe it's a toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I know from my perspective, there's not always a lot of guy friends around, and so you have to be extra careful, because when somebody comes along, you're like, oh great, let's go do this, let's go, but it may not be the right relationship. And on just a practical level, whether it's a coworker, whether it's just another guy friend to go on a hike with, to go camping with, whatever it is, if it's not a proper relationship, you got to be careful, because it sucks you in. And then you're like, oh my gosh, where did I just spend the last 6 months?
Right.
Or where did I spend the last year even?
Mm-hmm.
And, that time's gone then at that point, and you're wondering what even happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, what a good question is, what is a toxic relationship? What does that even look like? A lot of people, I think, are in them, but it's easier to see them from the outside than it is when you're inside something like that. So what do you guys think? What does it look like?
Well, I think it can be a relationship where somebody is necessarily pulling on you all the time. Like you're just constantly give, and you're not benefiting from the relationship at all, because it's just strictly a one-sided relationship, and all it does is drain you. So not that it's necessarily totally bad, but you have to limit your time that you spend or the output that you're giving in that relationship. Because if you're not careful, then you give until you're completely dry, and you've got nothing to show for it at the end of the day, other than you being drained and that person not getting any beneficial information anymore.
Yeah. I also think, going back to the foundation of how you met that person, why they're in your life, I think that's how you can also see if it's toxic or not. Like going all the way back, like for me, I know, especially like with co-workers, I love being in relationships with people, but a lot of times I've struggled when it comes to being a saved young woman who's serving God and wanting to just like laugh and hang out with the girls. And there is definitely a line. And so at least for me, I've had to a lot of times be like, all right, I need to make sure that I'm not crossing that line, that I'm still, having a relationship with them, because it could bring them to the Lord, but also not crossing that line of being too comfortable that could cost their salvation, because I could do something or say something that it may turn them off,
right.
Because I'm human. We all are, and I think a lot of times that's one of the ways that you can see whether something's toxic or not.
Mm-hmm. That's a familiarity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's good what Wendy was saying with that, because, a lot of times, like what I was explaining earlier, is we put it on the other person, and maybe it's not beneficial on our end. Maybe it's doing damage to us, and in long term, it's going to damage the other person. So we have to look, is it us that's damaging right now, or is it going to be damaging them?
Right. Mm-hmm. I think, too, any kind of relationship, especially a friendship that's toxic, one of the markers is always, where have I come from this? And you can only control yourself. So it's not like you can make someone be a certain kind of friend or be more in love with Jesus. You can't do that. So a good inventory to take is, where have I come since I've been friends with this person? Mm-hmm. And where do I maybe need to dial back for their own safety, their own salvation, for my benefit? And maybe I need to spread out some of my time with other people that are giving into my life and not necessarily just taking away.
Yeah. And I think comparing them to the healthy relationships that are healthy in your life.
Hey everybody, hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please comment below, let us know your thoughts. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Underground Church Network.
That's right, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/UCN.young. Like, comment, but most importantly, share.
Please follow us on Instagram at young_church.
And lastly, if you'd like to get involved in what we're doing or have topic ideas, you can email us at ucn.young@gmail.com.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.